Joining us right now is Wyoming Senator John Barrasso. Senator, good to see you. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, Maria. Great to be with you again.
So do you think it's time for Senator Rubio to leave the race at this point to make it a two-man race?
No, not at all.
No?
There's still 4 candidates in the race, Maria, and it's a long way until the July convention in Cleveland, where you need 1,237 delegates to get the nomination, and I think it's going to go on for a long time.
Yeah, there's an op-ed in the Journal today basically saying that, you know, if the party says that Trump does not have the number of delegates, it looks like the party is stealing the election from Donald Trump. People forget the rules.
Well, the rules are you need that many delegates.
Right.
That's the reason they have conventions, to come on and nominate somebody that can get a majority of the delegates and then bring forth the party to the fall election in November. I think that's the best way to assure a Republican victory in November, is to get somebody with a majority of delegates coming in July.
Are you expecting a brokered convention?
Well, I expect we're going to follow the rules of the convention and go with a majority.
Yeah.
I think we're going to see a lot today. You know, next week is the primaries in Florida and Ohio. That can have a major impact on the race as well, Maria.
Yeah, that's a huge part of this Tuesday. Yeah, go ahead.
Can I ask a quick question? So, Senator Barrasso, it's nice to see you again. For those of us that are on Team Never Trump, what do you suggest we do now? Do you think we need to sort of coagulate for Ted Cruz right now? Do you think all of us need to come out and support and give him money, since it looks like he has the biggest opportunity to take the delegates away from Donald Trump?
Well, I think people ought to listen to the debates, make decisions on their own. I mean, that's what the whole primary process is about, being informed. The energy is huge on the Republican side now. We're up over 3 million votes in terms of Republicans turning out to vote this time compared to 4 years ago, and the Democrat energy is poor. They're down for about 3 million votes. So I think there is a lot of enthusiasm. Different candidates are bringing more people to the polls. Certainly Donald Trump is part of it, as is Ted Cruz, as is Marco Rubio, and we see it with John Kasich as well in Ohio.
Yeah.
Senator, will you get behind Donald Trump if he is the nominee?
Well, I'm going to support the nominee of the party. I've been saying that since last summer. I'm going to continue to say that. I'll be at the convention in Cleveland. I'll support the nominee who comes out of there with the 1,237 votes.
Senator, but as minorities become a growing share of eligible voters, do you worry, given the incendiary comments that Trump has made since last summer, if you will, that pushes people who you need to vote for the Republican nominee, pushes them in an altogether different direction?
Well, people, when it comes to November, are going to have to make a choice between 2 candidates, the Republican nominee and the Democrat nominee. Right now, 70% of Americans believe the country is heading in the wrong direction because of the policies of Barack Obama. And I think Hillary Clinton, the likely nominee from the Democrat side, is someone who's continuing that approach of Barack Obama. Look, we see it right now with energy. In the debate the other night, Hillary Clinton came out against fracking. She's against American energy on the same day that Iran has now exported oil to Europe. The oil has now made it from Iran to Europe. She ought to be supporting American energy, but she doesn't. So I think in November, people are going to have a clear choice, and they're going to have to make a decision between 2 candidates.
Right, and she's also very positive on Obamacare. Mm-hmm. You know, she says she wants to build on it rather than changing it. Let me ask you about Ted Cruz. The senator is expected to announce his first Senate endorsements this week. Will you be included on that list?
You know, Maria, I haven't endorsed anyone this time, and I'm not going to until after the nomination convention in July. But I'll tell you, they all have lots and lots of support across the board, all 4 candidates, and that's why I think there's so much energy and so much enthusiasm. And also the fact that so many people think that under Barack Obama, the country is headed in the wrong direction in terms of foreign policy, in terms of domestic policy. You just brought up the issue of the health care law. People still find personally it's been bad for them. 1 in 4 Americans say they have personally been hurt by the health care law, and for that reason they oppose the Obama-Clinton approach.
Yeah.
Senator, we've been playing a clip all morning of Donald Trump saying that he's as conservative as anyone on trade. Of course, he wants to crack down on trade with China and Mexico. It raises the question, what is a conservative? How do you describe what a conservative is, particularly when it comes to trade with the rest of the world?
Yeah, well, I think trade is important, certainly for Wyoming, my home state. Trade is important for products we have. I'm trying to export more liquefied natural gas, which we have in great abundance in the United States. Our friends and allies across the world want it, but yet the Obama administration has made it harder to export that product. I want to export our agriculture products. Certainly beef is our #1 cash crop in Wyoming. Trona, another product. I'm supporting of trade.
But then you have Donald Trump, who is talking, I mean, the 45% tariff on imported goods from China, the way that he talks about trade with China and Japan in particular, it sounds like war. So that has to make you nervous.
Well, I support trade. I've met with Prime Minister Abe from Japan. He wants to import our liquefied natural gas. We have a lot of it to export. So I think there are real opportunities that help jobs in America, help our economy, help products in my home state of Wyoming, and help us as a nation. But we need to be using energy, I believe, as the master resource to help drive our economy and as an issue for trade.
Come back to the question, what is a conservative?
Well, I mean, a conservative to me is somebody who believes that the Constitution is a rigid document, not a flexible document, not a living document. It's a legal document, and then it grows from there.
You know, one thing about Donald Trump that he keeps resonating with the people about is the fact that he's this tough guy, and he's going to, you know, protect America, and he's going to make sure to get the jobs back from Mexico and get back the jobs from China. For some reason, even though there aren't any specifics in any of that, it's resonating. People want a tough person in the White House after the 7 years that they feel that they haven't had. Who else represents that kind of demeanor in terms of going to be tough on allies and adversaries around the world?
Well, I think that you're right, Maria, in terms of that perception, because people do want to undo the damage that Barack Obama has done, and I think he has done it by projecting weakness. He's projected weakness against North Korea, against Vladimir Putin, weakness in Syria, weakness around the world. And as a result, people are very concerned, especially in light of ISIS, the terror threat that we have in the United States. People are looking for a level of protection, a bodyguard, if you will, and they're not getting that from this president who at times of terrorism, he calls it workplace violence. I mean, this is incredible. And then with what he's doing with Guantanamo Bay, what we're seeing is those people are going into the fight again against the United States, and he wants to close it down.
Yeah, for sure. Senator, good to have you on the program this morning. Thanks so much.